welcome back to Chess for All. Today, we will be finishing the series on tactics and techniques, a five-part series which covers certain tactics and techniques that might change your game. Today, we will be discussing about what a skewer is, how it's different from a pin, and how it could be an amazing and deadly tactic in games. Skewer is where the more valuable piece is in front of the less valuable one, opposite to a pin. In a pin, usually pieces do not move. Like in many openings, you might pin a knight or a bishop or a pawn, and the piece might not actually move. But usually in skewers, the piece has to move. So it makes it a more useful trick to have up our sleeve. But as we already know, the more deadly a tactic like a queen sacrifice, the lower the chance of it occurring. So this is the position I showed you last time. And if you have not solved it already, please take the time to pause the video and try it for yourself. There are 6 pieces on the board, and black's rook has been attacked temporarily, while white's pawn is miles closer to promotion than black's. But in white's bid to promote, he overlooked a fatal error. Did you spot it? Well, the correct move for black is rook h7, threatening a deadly skewer on the back rank. If white decides to take his rook out of the back rank, it will be mate in 1 with rook h1. If white goes king e1 to get his king out of the back rank, then rook h1 check, king f2, and the killer rook takes c1 will end the game immediately, as the white pawn is 1 move too slow to promote, as by the time it goes to b7, the rook will be waiting behind to take it. This next one is a position where you are 2 full rooks down, and almost out. However, you have a small attack, and that might save you. If you have not solved this position already, please pause the video now and try to solve it for yourself. There is a reason why the queen and our knight are known as a deadly duo when attacking together, and here it just shows how. After knight e3 check, forking both the king and the rook, the king gets out of the way with king to f2, but since I already told you, you are 2 full rooks down, taking the rook with the knight will just not help your cause, as you still be a rook and an exchange down, or a knight in this case. So hence, instead of taking the rook on f1, queen takes f4, provokes another check, getting 2 pieces to attack the f1 rook after king to e2. Then, instead of knight takes f1, which saves the knight, you play queen takes f1, provoking the king to the e3 square, because if it doesn't and goes to d2, then another check either provokes it again to e3, or if it does go to c3, it is mate. So the king, having no choice, takes on e3, and then queen to g1 skewers the king to the queen, which is on a7. And after the king runs away again to e2, queen takes a7, and black has a chance again to win. Now having a queen versus a rook and a knight, which is not the easiest imbalance to win, but at least a much better position than he was in earlier. So the key takeaways from this video are: always look to attack at the king, because it matters where it castle, like the king's side or the queen's side, or maybe if it's still in the center. Because if you try to attack it, nasty tactics like this come into play. Secondly, bring many pieces to the attack. Because if you bring multiple pieces to the attack, that means that multiple defenders have to come to block all the attacks. And since the attacker has the initiative, which means he also has a lot better moves to play and has a lot easier of decisions to make, he can get skewers and other tactics to work in his favor. And finally, before I leave, I will leave you guys with a position to solve at the end. And since our tactics and techniques series will be over, it will be of something else. Not a new series yet, but something we need to learn before we get to the new series. Thank you for watching this video, and if you really want to support me and my content, please take the time to subscribe, hit the like button as it helps me to create this content. Also share this with anybody else as they would love to grasp this game. Thank you for listening to me and see you in the next one.